Essentia Chamber. This is Erin Holmgren, your ambassador at large, and today I am speaking with Erin Chen with EHC Insurance Agency.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm surviving, and we are socially distancing here.
That's right.
So, Erin, tell me a little bit. Is this your first business?
It is my first business, but it's kind of morphed into a different business since it first started. So I started my working career in retail, in Nordstrom in particular, while I was putting myself through school. And so I kind of worked my way down the pyramid, as Nordstrom called it. And and my family started growing at the same time. So, and while my family grew, I was like, okay, retail is really not working out for me. So I started looking outside of retail and landed on an insurance job. And at the time, it was a call center environment, brokerage. And then, so every day it was just grinding numbers. How many dials did you make?
Wow.
How many hours were you on the phone? And it was really tough. And then I ended up moving overseas, back home to Taiwan, for a couple, 2.5 years, I should say. Family issues, and just so my kids can get some Chinese in their system too. It's very important, very useful. So then in 2018, my sister-in-law, was calling me and was like, okay, when are you guys coming back? I think it's time for you to come back, And I was like, okay, sure. So, we were living in the Bay Area, San Francisco at the time. So being completely new to Southern California, because she's down here.
Right.
So it was a fresh start, and I was trying to find myself again. And, ended up meeting my farmer's district manager at the time, and was fortunate enough to be seated a book of business from a retiring agent at the time. And so I opened my own agency, and I had a brick and mortar, a storefront, and there were a lot of requirements that I needed to meet. So I needed to have a fully licensed staff, and then, again, the storefront. So it was a lot of overheads and a huge learning curve for me. And in the middle of all of this and all the struggles, and then I was, trying to get my name out there. So I was part of, networking groups,
Right.
and, chambers and whatnot.
Right.
And I was out there networking with everybody. I met my mentor, so to speak, with Medicare. And so then I discovered Medicare also, and started learning more about it. And the more I did it, the more I found that I really, was more passionate about Medicare, because you get to know your clients on a much more personal level. And especially, right now in the COVID environment, being able to give somebody their health,
Right.
and health insurance, and, help them in that way, it gives me a lot of gratification. So last year, 2020, in March, I sold my farmer's agency.
Just in the nick of time.
I did. I know. It's like, oh, perfect timing. So again, I was fortunate enough to where, okay, so I tried brick and mortar, right? I had my storefront. It worked, and I had some revenue, but after expenditures, after all the marketing costs, the rent, the payroll, taxes, yada yada yada, I was barely surviving.
So you're like on the treadmill, just trying to keep everything going.
Oh yeah.
And
it's like, okay, Erin, what are we doing here? And then and I was slowly building my Medicare book of business as well.
Mm-hmm.
While I was doing that, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I think I can do this. I can take a step back and really. So, and a buyer came along for the book of business with farmers. So I gladly sold it and handed it to him. And then I now have a co-working space kind of office So if I need to meet my clients, I still can.
Right.
And I have a professional presence, right? But it's just really in the middle of all of this, finding myself and realizing that, okay, you know, other kinds of insurance is great and it's very, very important because everybody needs insurance. But truly where my passion lies is health insurance, and particularly for my boomer babies. I call them my boomer babies. My seniors, they are my babies.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know, I make a very good personal connection, especially with seniors.
You're looking at me while you're saying this. You know, just because I don't have any hair doesn't mean I'm a senior yet. So.
Not quite. And, you know, and that's probably the only part that they love about getting old is being able to get their Medicare, because when they get to that age, you know, the late 50s and early 60s, individual health insurance costs an arm and a leg. And so being enrolled into Medicare is like, woo, huge relief. So they love it and I love it. So
it sounds like, you know, your experience with customer service and that whole training you got at Nordstrom's was super important for you. And then being able to offer an insurance product where you have a chance to make more of that personal connection and really kind of delve into a little bit more with what the person's needs are. It seems to be a good fit.
Yeah.
So would you say that you kind of, after having gone through this unusual trajectory of like having the storefront and then realizing, no, that's not exactly all it's, you know, made out to be?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, really just realizing, okay, do I really want to do this? Is this for me, you know? And then finding my passion, even though it's in the same industry, the kind of service, the kind of work that I do is very different. So with, you know, property casualty, it's about chasing after another policy and oh, do I have a late premium? Why did my premium increase by $5 or $10? It's very grinding. But with health, and I also do, you know, other policies like long-term care and life insurance and things like that. So with these, it's your health that we're talking about, and then just being able to help guide people through, because Medicare is extremely confusing.
Yeah.
And there are so many different products available out there, and you know, and my services are completely free to my clients, and that's another thing that I love about them.
Okay.
So I provide a free service to my clients. They don't pay me because they pay Medicare, the government, and I don't represent the government in any way. But, you know, I get to, in the middle of helping others, build my own book of business. And, you know, and after, 2.5 years now, referrals are really starting to come in. And, you know, I've really started to enjoy and I mean, I've loved customer service to begin with, and building a very personal relationship with my clients. Because I don't know if I mentioned, at Nordstrom, I was in lingerie. So we were up close and personal with you know, with all our clients.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, very good. So that would obviously make it a little easier for you to ask, perhaps, personal questions of people that you legitimately have to when going through a questionnaire to try to find the right match for them.
Oh, absolutely.
The right stuff.
That's an important part of it, and being able to earn their trust right off the bat, and you know, because they have to tell me all their prescriptions for me to be able to find them the best plan. You know, it's a lot of trust and a lot of very personal issues.
Very good. Well, it sounds like your previous experience matched with this insurance stuff. Looks like you found a good package.
I did.
Well, good. Well, and that's always, I think, the challenge that a lot of us have is trying to figure out what exactly we want to do and where we want to be in a given moment in time.
Yeah.
So, congratulations.
Thank you. And learning as you go, and always tweaking. Because, you know, at the beginning of the year, we've written our business plan, and then, you know, as the season moves on, and last year was completely unpredictable to anybody, so I had to tweak my business plan several times throughout the year.
Right.
So it's just learning as you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any other wisdom you'd like to share with our friends out there in the placentric community?
Well, again, stay true to yourself, and if you have any Medicare questions, Erin is your Medicare gal.
There you go. Erin, it was a great pleasure to
Same
chat
here,
with you, and wish you the best of luck for
Thank you.
2021 as
Likewise.
we all need.
That's right.
And until the next episode, be well.
See you later.